The Egyptian mythology, Apophis. Apep or Apophis was the ancient Egyptian spirit of evil, darkness, and destruction, who threatened to destroy the sun god Ra as he traveled through the underworld or sky at night. Originally, Seth and Mehen, the serpent-headed man, were given the job of defending Ra and his solar barge. They would cut a hole in the belly of the snake to allow Ra to escape his clutches. If they failed, the world would be plunged into darkness. However, in later periods, Apep was sometimes equated with Seth, who was, after all, a god of chaos. In this case, a variety of major and minor gods and goddesses, including Isis, Neith, Serpent, Geb, Akir, and the followers of Horus, protected Ra from his all-consuming evil. The dead themselves, in the form of the god Shu, could also fight Apep to help maintain Maat, order. Like Seth, Apep was also associated with various frightening natural events, such as unexplained darkness, such as solar eclipses, storms, and earthquakes. They were both linked to the northern sky, a place that the Egyptians considered to be cold, dark, and dangerous. And they were both at times associated with Tawaret, the demon goddess. However, unlike Seth, he was always a force for evil and could not be reasoned with. Apep is not mentioned by name until the Middle Kingdom, but depictions of large serpents or pre-dynastic poetry may relate to him or to any of the variety of serpent gods or demons who appear in early texts, such as the pyramid texts, as representatives of evil or chaos. However, the mythology surrounding him largely developed during the New Kingdom in funerary texts such as the Duat or Amuduat. During the Roman period, he was called "he who was spat out" and considered to have been born of the saliva of the goddess Neith. He was depicted as a huge serpent, often with tightly compressed coils to emphasize his huge size. In funerary texts, he is usually shown in the process of being dismembered in various ways. In a detailed depiction in the tomb of Ramesses IV, 12 heads are painted above the head of the snake, representing the souls he was swallowed, who are briefly freed when he is destroyed, only to be imprisoned again the following night. In an alternative depiction inscribed in a number of tombs of private individuals, Hathor or Ra is transformed into a cat who slices the huge serpent with a knife. The serpent was also represented by a circular ball, the evil eye of Apep, in numerous temple scenes. Apep was known by many epithets, such as the evil lizard, the encircler of the world, the enemy, and the serpent of rebirth. He was not worshipped, he was feared, but was possibly the only god other than the Aten during the Amarna period. He was considered to be all-powerful. He did not require any nourishment and could never be completely destroyed, only temporarily defeated. Apep led an army of demons that preyed on the living and the dead. To defeat this malevolent force, a ritual known as Banishing Apep was conducted annually by the priests of Ra. An effigy of Apep was taken into the temple and imbued with all of the evil of the land. The effigy was then beaten, crushed, smeared with mud, and burned. Other rituals involved the creation of a wax model of the serpent, which was ritually dismembered, and the burning of a papyrus bearing an image of the snake. The Book of Apophis is a collection of magical spells from the New Kingdom which were supposed to repel or contain the evil of the spirit. Apep was hated and feared by the Egyptians, but two of the Hyksos rulers chose his name as their coronation names, although they used a slightly different spelling.